Daily Heavenly Manna, October 27th. The chosen text from Psalms 31 verses 15. My times are in thy hand. Explanation. All of the Lord's consecrated servants devoted their lives to sacrifice when they become followers of the Lamb. And if they couldn't but realize their consecration continually, they would be ready for the consummation at any moment at the Lord's pleasure and by whatever means or channel His providences may permit. The Lord's consecrated ones of the Elijah class are to remember that not a hair of their heads could fall without their Father's knowledge and permission, and the attitude of their hearts should be that expressed by our dear Redeemer. The head of the Elijah body, the cup which my Father hath poured for me, shall I not drink it? The language of their hearts should be that expressed by the poet. Content whatever lot I see, since this my God that leadeth me. Reprint number 3408. Amen.
Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into a pretty specific devotional idea. It's all about total surrender, this concept that our lives are, well, entirely in God's hands.
That's right. And the anchor for this whole discussion is Psalm 31, verse 15. My times are in thy hand. So our mission today is really to unpack what that means, the demands it places on who the text calls consecrated servants.
And the comfort it offers them too, right?
Exactly. The requirements and the assurance.
Okay, so let's start with the requirements. The source material seems, well, pretty upfront about the initial commitment. It says these consecrated servants basically signed up for a life of sacrifice from day one.
Yes, that's the entry point, a total devotion. But it doesn't stop there. The text pushes further.
How so?
Well, it says that just making that initial vow isn't quite enough to be ready for what it terms the consummation.
The consummation, like the end goal.
Sort of the final fulfillment, yes. To be ready, they have to live out that consecration continually, every moment, submitting to the Lord's pleasure, submitting to, the channels He uses as providences.
Okay, continually. That word really stands out. It sounds intense, like you make the big decision, but then you have to keep making it almost second by second.
That's the idea. It's about realizing that state of consecration all the time.
Yeah.
A constant yielding.
That's quite the psychological ask, isn't it? How does one manage that constant state of yielding without feeling, well, completely passive?
It's a fair question, and the text kind of narrows the focus, maybe to make it more graspable. It talks specifically about the Lord's consecrated ones of the Elijah class.
The Elijah class.
Right.
For listeners, that connects to those seen as doing a final sort of intense prophetic work, maybe facing similar challenges to Elijah.
Precisely. And for this group, facing hardship and maybe isolation, the text offers a very specific, very deep comfort.
Okay, so what is that comfort? If you're giving everything continually, what's the assurance?
The assurance is remarkably detailed. It says, not a hair of their heads could fall without their Father's knowledge and permission.
Wow, not even a hair.
Not even a hair. It suggests absolute divine oversight. Nothing is random. Even the smallest hardship isn't accidental. It's known. It's permitted.
So if you truly accept to that level of micromanagement, I suppose,
yeah,
that changes how you view suffering entirely. It's not meaningless chaos.
Exactly. It shifts the perspective, and that leads directly to the kind of heart attitude required. The model given is the Redeemer himself, seen as the head of this Elijah body.
And there's that key quote, isn't there, about acceptance?
Yes, the cup which my Father hath poured for me, shall I not drink it?
That sums it up powerfully. The cup being whatever destiny, whatever suffering is assigned. Total acceptance.
Total acceptance. And it's echoed in that poetic line quoted, content whatever lot I see, since 'tis my God that leadeth me. It's about finding contentment because you trust the leader, regardless of the path.
Adversity becomes part of the guided journey, not just a roadblock.
Right. It reframes the entire experience.
So bringing this together for, someone trying to apply this, the main takeaway seems to be this need for continuous submission. It flows from really internalizing, my times are in thy hand.
It's not one big dramatic decision, though that's part of it. It's more about the 1,000 little surrenders every single day. It's an ongoing attitude.
A moment-to-moment yielding.
Yes. And that brings us to a final thought, really a question for you, the listener, to chew on.
Okay.
The source puts immense focus on the internal attitude of the follower, much more than the external events themselves. So if you truly accept that everything happens within the Father's knowledge and permission,
Down to the simple hair.
down to the single hair, does embracing that total surrender, aiming for that continual consecration, actually lead to a kind of paradoxically greater freedom from anxiety, from doubt?
Because you're no longer fighting the current.
Perhaps. What's the real challenge baked into that word continually? Is giving up that sense of control the only path to finding genuine peace? Something to think about.